Class 10th, in our previous lecture, we have done the causes of the partition of Bengal. Now the next topic, it is the anti-partition movement. So people started a strong movement against the partition, and that movement was known as the anti-partition movement. The partition of Bengal led to a submission which brought people together under different leaders. Indian National Congress, they oppose the partition of Bengal, and different sections of the population like jamidars, merchants, lawyers, students and women, they rose up in opposition to stop this partition. Many protest meetings were held by various leaders like Surendranath Banerjee, P.C. Ray, B.C. Pal, etc. And these people, they along with them, along with the early nationalists, assertive nationalists, they also cooperated with each other, but they were not able to stop the partition of Bengal. And many newspapers, like it's given there, Bengali, Hitabai, and then Sajibanani. These were some of the papers which was introduced or which was taken out during that time. Now, what was the people reaction towards this? So partition, you can underline, it came into effect on October 16, 1905, very important date, and this day was declared as a day of national mourning throughout the Bengal. And in different places, there was a hartal in Kolkata. People walked barefooted and bathed in Ganga in the early morning hours. Then in the streets of Kolkata, Bande Mataram was sung by the national people, nationalist. Then Rabindranath Tagore, underline, Amar Sonar Bangla, he wrote a patriotic song which means My Golden Bengal, and it was sung by each and every person in the Bengal. The ceremony of Raksha Bandhan was celebrated. Hindus and Muslims, they tied rakhis, yellow thread, on each other in order to show their unity. So these were some of the reactions which you can say that was seen when partition of Bengal was being announced. Now come to the next topic, the impact of the anti-partition movement. The partition of Bengal along with the anti-partition movement asserted the nationalist movement by spreading it among the different masses, or you can say that the people rose in unity. They were ready to suffer and they were ready to sacrifice. Then the ideas of Swadeshi and boycott, they got new popular feeling. People, they use these two as their weapon against the Britishers. The spirit of Swadeshi spread to every walk of life, like industries, education, culture, literature, etc. Third point, the people lost their faith in the fair play and justice of the Britishers. Now no longer they were ready to listen to the Britishers. Then the anti-partition agitation backfired the plans of Lord Curzon. So the various methods which was adopted by the early nationalists, they lost their appeal, and the assertives leaders, they came into existence and they were ready to do anything in order to stop the partition of Bengal. Now next very important topic, it's your Surat Supplet. So Surat Supplet. The next topic, it is a Surat Supplet which took place in 1907. The Swadeshi movement cast its shadow on the growing differences between the early nationalist and the assertive nationalist, because the Swadeshi, they wanted, assertive nationalists, they wanted to expand Swadeshi and boycott to rest of the India also, but the early nationalists, they did not approve it. They wanted that it should be confined to Bengal only. So there aroses a difference between these two categories. The dispute between these two wings of the Congress on the issue of Swadeshi, Swaraj and national education was not resolved, and there was also disagreement over the candidate, that who will be the next president of the Congress. So finally Dadabhai Naoroji, who was respected by both the groups, he became the president of Congress, and he declared that Swaraj or self-government as the united goal of both. And he also said that Swadeshi and boycott movement should be used. Later on, again the differences occur between them, because now again the new president is to be elected. So assertive nationalists, they propose the name of the Lala Lajpat Rai, whereas the early nationalists, they propose the name of Raj Bihari Ghosh. And again, due to the lot of confusion, you can say, that in the Surat, where the decision was to be taken that who will become the president of the Congress, and both they were having their own candidates, so they were not able to come to any particular, you can say that they were not able to take any decision, and therefore these both the groups, they separated, and for 9 years they remained out of the Congress. And the benefit was taken by the Britishers, because it gave an opportunity to the British to exploit the situation to their advantages. So Suraj split also weakened the national movement. Now the next topic, it is the assertive nationalists. As in the in the third chapter we have read about the early nationalists. Now the other group, as the topic itself, the fourth chapter. So the assertive nationalists. So these were the new and young group of leaders within the Congress who did not agree with the methods and ideologies of the early leaders. These were the angry young men, those who stood for complete suffrage. They also wanted to have mass base for their movement, and therefore this group of leaders came to be known as assertive nationalists. The three prominent leaders come to the last line, you can say Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, and Bal Gangadhar Tilak. These were the three main famous assertive leaders known as Lal, Bal, Pal. So you can underline these points.